it's me, Renee. I'm back, and I found this quite fun tag that amazingly I haven't done. It seems to be from at least 2021. Maybe it's older, but yeah, it's a bit of a longer one. That suppose depends on how how precise you are in answering, how much you elaborate, which I elaborate a lot. So yeah, get yourself a nice cup of water, some soda, some tea, and enjoy. First question. What was the last book you read? Now, I suppose this could go two ways. Does this mean the last book I finished or the last book that I read in? Because honestly, that's two different questions. But you know what? I'm gonna interpret it as the last book I finished, which is Game Moment. Ba-da-ba-da. The Woman in the Library, which I talked about in a video yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. And it's yeah. And also the next question is, fittingly enough, was the good one? Which no. Well, it wasn't awful, but I kind of had different expectations for it. I thought the library was going to be more important, and I don't know. It wasn't bad, but would I call it good? No, I wouldn't. And the next question is what made it good? So that's kind of a bit presumptive. I mean, it's not good. What didn't make it good, I would say, because I suppose I have to answer that way. I kind of felt it was a bit slow paced and it was very character based, but I didn't really care that much about the characters. There was like a meta thing to it, which I didn't really care for, and yeah, there were several things about the book that I didn't really like. Next question: would you recommend it to other people? No, honestly, I wouldn't. I mean, it's a book that has some scenes in the library, and it's a book that's a short mystery, so I suppose it has some nice, interesting aspects to it. Like, if you want a short book, this is definitely short. But I would say there are better books about mysteries in libraries. There are better shorter books, so no, I wouldn't. Next question: how often do you read? I read, I would say, more or less every day. Though I suppose there are some days that I read less. But would say like if you count, sorry, but like counting with both audiobook and physical reads, then yeah, I do some every day because I more or less always have an audiobook on the go. Sometimes I'm more in a podcasting mood than an audiobook read mood, but I more or less like try a bit in audiobook, like more or less daily. I usually like have a book by my nightstand and whatever. So yeah, I always do a bit of reading. Often, like lately, I've been doing more and more because I'm enjoying more reading experience. But yeah, more or less daily. I would say like depending on the day, but yeah, pretty daily. Often, like not 365 days of the year, but at least 300 days of the year, I would say. Blah blah blah. Do you like to read? Do you like to read? What kind of question is that? For a book question, for a book tag. Do you like to read? Why would you not like to read if you're doing a booktube channel, if you're doing a bookish video? What huh? What? Well, I suppose to be precise, I don't like to read, no. I love to read. I absolutely love to read. That is the honest to God truth. I love to read. What is the last bad book you read? Oh, no, because I think maybe it is something bad. No, yeah. Again, this one. Again, I suppose I wouldn't call it bad. You know what? I'm gonna go with this one instead. Yeah, I kind of felt it was badly paced. I didn't really connect to the characters, and it's character based. And I mean, I didn't hate it, but I would call it slightly bad. Yeah. Uh, find my notes again. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. yeah, what made I dislike it? I just said it was all kind of bad paced. I didn't connect to the characters. I suppose with this kind of 50 bookish questions, I shouldn't just like show a book and then afterwards elaborate, because often the next question is about elaborating. Um, do you wish to be a writer? I used to do. Like, I suppose a lot of readers like have at one point kind of wanted to be a writer. I used to do that. When I was in my teens, early 20s, I did write like as a hobby. Now I'm thinking like, honestly, I don't really think I have the patience for it, because I feel like you to be a writer, you have to. I mean, it's not just writing one draft. You have to write 1,000 drafts, and that's not really my that hasn't really worked for me. I suppose I'm kind of thinking about going back into hobby writing, but yeah, writing like as a job, I don't like as a author. I don't really think that's for me. I actually used to honestly have the dream ramp after a while, because that's kind of what I realized, because I worked in a bookstore and then things happened. But yeah, that was my dream job. So yeah, but writing itself, no, it's yeah, no. Has any book ever influenced you greatly? Has any book ever influenced me greatly? Uh, that's quite a silly question. I mean, of course, that was yeah, yeah. Wouldn't this be of course for like most readers? Like even if like they just have one book, like most people have like one or well, a lot of people have like several books that influence you greatly. So this is kind of a silly question, I suppose. Maybe it's better to like say what book has influenced me greatly. But yeah, I'm gonna show them to you. That was again, yeah. What books that has influenced you greatly? What book? I'm gonna show you several. I can't just pick one. But we have, of course, we have the Gail Calgary series here represented by Prudence. I mean, this is an amazing series. It's an amazing universe. I've recently seen people like rave about it on Bookstagram, and yes, I'm here for it. I need more like people to have their eyes up for this series. It's amazing. It's so different than everything else. So like if you go around thinking, oh, there's nothing new in the book world, everything's like something else. This Gail Carriger, she is her totally her own kind of style. I mean, yeah, I suppose you could draw some sort of parallels, but like mostly Gail Carriger, totally unique and awesome in her own way. And yeah, I mean Gail Carriger, honestly, now I'm sounding a bit so crazy, but honestly, I feel like if someone ever found like a fountain of youth, give it to her, so she'll never die, so she'll always be writing books. Because a world without Gale, it's not possible. We can't have that. So yep. So that one at least has influenced me greatly. Like I'm part of the Gail Carriger, Gail Carriger Facebook group. That's kind of one of the reasons I'm still on Facebook. I made a Gail Carriger book tag. I wanted to do a Gail Carriger readathon, and then I didn't really have like didn't really happen with it. Maybe I'll try to do it again, because now I'll see more people who are. I suppose maybe it's easy to have a readathon with several people. Like if several people arrange it, not just one person. I don't know. But yeah, Gail Carriger, yeah, definitely influenced me. Then we have a Vampire Academy. I mean, just like the significance of this being a book that because this edition I bought it in Spain, because yeah, I read Spanish as well. And yeah, this book I found it when I was 16, 17. I need like desperately needed a new favorite book, and this gave me life. This gave me life. This gave me lots of good friends through Facebook on Vampire Academy groups. It gave me so good memories. Yeah, it's gave me so many things. And yeah, Vampire Academy influenced me greatly. And then we have, I mean, there's so many books. There's so many books. Yeah, Old Magic by Marion Curley. This book came also in an important time in our life. I was 12. I've have in a way actually lost my uh, faith in a way in books. Sounds a bit maybe blasphemous, but yeah, I kind of like I read all the books in the school library. And like there are no good books in the world. What am I gonna do? Oh, I'm not a reader anymore. Then I found this in a flea market, and my life was forever changed. Yeah, I could go on. I'm just gonna stop there, but yeah, that's just a few of the books that greatly have influenced me. Now, also, give me a little moment. It's water with taste, so it's not dirty. It's just tasting it. So, like, what are you doing? That's weird water. No, it's with tasting it. Um, do you read fan fiction? I used to. Like 10, 15 years ago, I read Vampire Academy fan fiction. I suppose that's more or less that. I actually wrote some fan fiction as well. I did also, I think probably the last thing I wrote myself was a Gilmore Girls fan fiction because I didn't really like how Netflix series ended. Who did? I suppose some people did, but yeah, that's controversial. Netflix series, and well, I mean, it's not the best in the world. So I wrote my own version of it. But yeah, but read. Yeah, it's been a while since I read some. Might get back into it. I just kind of went out of the fan fiction world. It was yeah. Again, I was a bit quick because next question is, do you write fan fiction? Again, I used to. I have I didn't write a lot, but I've written some fan fiction. I have some ideas that I kind of want to do, kind of want to read, write. So maybe I'll do that. I mean, I haven't really been in a writing mood for years now, but maybe. Never say never. Never say never. You know it. And now, the audacity of this question. The next question is, what's your favorite book? Not books with like plural, but book. I mean, can you choose one favorite book? I mean, audacity. No, you can't choose one favorite book. That's madness. People who made this tag, you're mad, mad. I mean, choosing one favorite book. No, no, no. Okay, of course I'm gonna show you, of course, Old Magic, Melancholy, being one of them. I can't just show you one book because there's so many books that are equally important to me, to my life, to my reading experience, to my reading life, to me. So then next we have, come on, I just Murder on the School Night. A recent favorite is Bookish Life for Nina Hill. I recently read this, loved it so much, it gave me life. Things that bright girls can do, Sally Nichols. It's a book that I forever talk about. It's about suffragettes, it's YA, it's about all the cool women, it's patriarchy, taking down patriarchy, it's pacifism, it's so many cool things. Murder on a School Night by Kate Weston. I mean, this book needs to be in everyone's hands. It's just a perfect book. It's amazing. Diary of a Confused Feminist by Kate Weston. Again, same author. Kate Weston, again, I suppose maybe she also needs to get like a Fountain of Youth drink because she cannot ever die. She has to write forever and ever and ever. Am I a bit intense? Maybe. So yes, it was 5 books instead of one. I would say like 5 books is kind of, at least for me, it's kind of the minimum I can do. I can't do one book, but 5 book, yeah, that kind of, yeah. And then the next question is blah 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 blah. Yeah, what's your least favorite book? My oh, moment. My phone just fell off. But yeah, some my notes are my least favorite book. Honestly, that's that's a hard one, I would say, because like if I do like a book, often I DNF it, or sometimes I might finish it, but I won't. Kind of like my brain, it's kind of good. It kind of erases the book experience. So a book has to be awful for me to remember it. But yeah, honestly, there's just kind of one book that's coming to mind: The Bronze Horseman by Paulina Simons. It came out, I think, maybe about 10 years ago now, or something around that. The first in a trilogy, and like first people like it came out like first people read it like, oh, it's so good, and like, okay, I'm gonna read it myself. And like is this good? And then some other people like reading it and like, no, it's bad and awful and blah blah blah. I'm like, yes, all those reasons, it's so bad. So yeah, maybe the next question is like, why it's bad? No. Do you prefer physical books or reading on device? Yeah, I prefer physical books. Well, I do audiobooks, but it's listening to a device. It's not reading by device. But I suppose, how do you define device? But yeah, I prefer either paperbacks or audiobooks. So yeah, I suppose also depends on the day if I prefer. Like sometimes I kind of, I mean, much more like I want a story, but I don't want to. For some reason, I don't want to sit and hold the book and read. And then I find an audiobook and listen to it, and then I might just lay on the couch. I might just sit somewhere. Maybe I'll walk and listen to it. So yeah, and sometimes I'm like, you know what? I listen to so many audiobooks. I want to pick up a good book to read. So that depends on the mood, really. But yeah, I do like. I've never really read an ebook. Well, I've read, I've read like short ebooks, but not like bigger, like whole books. I mean, yeah. Blah 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 blah. When did you learn to read? Now, this is kind of controversial. I feel like at least a bit controversial because I have this idea, this image that I learned to read later than other people. I have this idea that I learned to read when I was like didn't learn to read until I was 8. But my mom has in recent years and said that no, that's wrong. You learned to read before that. So I don't quite know what's the truth there. But I suppose maybe 8, maybe 6, around then. I mean, I do know that most of my life I've been a big reader, but when I learned to read, yeah, I suppose that's I don't quite know. I don't have a correct answer there really. So correct answer, but 8 or 5, I'm thinking around then. So yeah. Where am I now? What is your favorite book you had to read in school? Now, for some reason, I don't know, but at least in Norway, we never really had books we had to read in school. Like in primary school, sorry, in primary we had like from like when we were in first grade to like fourth grade, we like had like time where we were supposed to read in school, and then you had like if you read 200 pages, you got a sticker and whatnot. But it wasn't like read this book, the whole class read this book. No, it was just kind of go to the school library, borrow some books, and read them during Norwegian class. So it wasn't really that the whole class read one book. And the same in middle school. There wasn't like we had to read one book. In I think the first time I had to read for school was in high school. I remember we had to read Victoria by Penny Thompson, which I did not enjoy at all. So I suppose, yeah, I didn't really have a favorite book that I read in school. Now I suppose depending on how you define school, if you want to expand the term school, I did do 1 year of English in university, and there we had to read Holes by Louis Saccard, and that one I absolutely loved. I love that one so much. So yeah, that one I'm gonna say. Blah 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 blah. What is your favorite book series? Again, it's book series, not series plural. So it's like wants you to pick one book series, and again, that's not possible. I can pick maybe top 5, but one book series? Are you nuts? Are you crazy? No, no. But yeah, of course, the Custard Protocol series by Gail Carriger, and then yeah, you also have. Come on, where is? Yeah. Then you have the Personal Protectorate series by Gail Carriger, the first series in that series. Yeah, you understand. I'm doing a bit on the whim here, you see, but and then we have, maybe you know what? There. Then we have Geek Girl by Holy Smale, another amazing series you need to check out. Then we have Yeah, I'm not sure I could. Yeah, Clockwork Scarab or Silken Holmes, another steampunk series. A big steampunk girly. So that's three. And then we have which one to? Ah, you know what? The Heroine Complex series, Heroine Complex, Hollywood Heroine, and Haunted Heroine. There are 6 books. I have more of them. I don't know why there's just 3 of them here. I'm not that organized, but yeah, this series I live for it as well. Uh, so that's will be 4. Yeah, and then which book to choose now? Which book? Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna go with yeah. The Bowman Spindle by Leslie Weather. This series gives me life. We don't talk about that. Each time I pick up the book, I read during half a year because for some reason I'm not swallowing them. But they do give me life. They give me life. You need to check out this. Indiana Jones, the sapicness, the sassiness, the everything. It's yeah. People need to check it out. So yeah. And then we are on the next question, which would be, what is your favorite? What is your favorite genre? For a long time, I would say fantasy because I read like more or less only fantasy for a long while. Now I would say it's a bit more difficult now to say my favorite genre. Again, yeah, favorite book, favorite genre, favorite book series. How can you make me choose? How are you making me choose? Um, but I suppose, yeah, okay. I can say here fantasy because if you just say fantasy, because so much go into fantasy, like there's so many different types of fantasy. So I'm gonna say fantasy. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna answer here. Blah 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 blah. Have I have I skipped? What happened here? Yeah, I skipped a question. Sorry. And then yeah, the question here is, what is your favorite author? Again, I love favorite authors, but I feel like this one is honestly, slightly more easy to say because Gail Carriger. I mean, she has so many books that I love with all my heart. She has a great Facebook group where she's just sharing all the tea tips and all the cake tips and like all the books and everything. Her part of the corner of the internet is just so cozy and comfortable and nice. She does lives on Facebook every other month. So even though yeah, we all kind of want Gail Carriger to like do a world tour, sadly she's not doing it, but she's kind of doing this next best thing, which is kind of like having a Q&A every other month where like people from all over can look and ask questions and get answers and feel like they're sitting just by her or on her couch and having a great time. And yeah, Gail Carriger, definitely, I would say, definitely a big favorite of mine. Also, doesn't hurt that a lot of things that she loves, I love as well. Not like just like it seems a bit weird, but like yeah, of course she loves her own books and I love her books. But she's also a big coupling fan. She loves Blackadder. She loves a lot of the same. Well, I'm not quite sure for music, but like yeah, a lot of the same movies and TV series. She has same styles, same taste as me. It's like yeah, other people who love coupling. Yes, yes, and also Gail Killinger loving coupling. I'm here for it. I'm here for it all the way. So yeah, there's that. Give me a moment. Talking makes you thirsty. Then we have, what is your favorite character in a book series? Again, people make these questions. Can you? How can you make people choose? I mean, this is an impossible question. I mean, yes, some people can stand out, but more or less, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go back to Kate from Old Magic. I mean, yeah, Kate in this book, she's such a role model. She's a great character. She is herself. She's not trying to be someone else. She's happy with being herself. She's confident and she's capable. And yeah, Kate from this book. Favorite character in a book series. This is standalone, so sorry. I suppose I would have to say so many good characters. You know what? I'm gonna go with Harriet Manners in Geek Girl because Harriet Manners. Do I need to say more? She's not just like me, but a lot like me. She's has a big heart, and she's just Harriet Manners. I mean, I don't need to say more. You have to check it out, and yeah. Mm, And then next question: has a book ever transported you somewhere else? Again, uh, yes. That's kind of what good books should do. Good books transport you to the world of the book. The good books or great books make you forget that you're in this sad existence called life. They make you escape and make you take you away someplace else. So yeah, all good books do that. I mean, that's a silly question, really. I suppose you can just answer. Um, what should I answer? Yeah, you know what? I kind of felt like I was kind of in LA when I read it because yeah, it was a bit weird to like answer with a contemporary book, but yeah, I just read this one recently. It's set in LA, and I suppose I felt like I was in LA. It was good description of the places, and it was good, just great book in general, and yeah. Then we have which book do you wish had a sequel? I know this one has a companion sequel. That was that. We can say that one. That one has a sequel. Good question because like most books, I feel like at least for me, most great books luckily has a sequel. Um, but I feel like give me a moment to think. I'm just gonna think here and look and have a thinky whoopsie. A thinky whoopsie. Yeah, a thinky loo. I don't know. Yeah, it's a difficult question. Which book doesn't have a sequel that I want to have a sequel? I feel like I've had answers to this question because there's been questions of this before. And I've had some answers before. But of course now I'm just blanking out. You know what? I would say this one. Something close to magic. Though I would say it's quite good perfect as is, but I would say if it gets a sequel, which I kind of feel like it could have, like it's not completely close to a sequel. The world is kind of things could still happen in this world. I feel like it's a rich, big world. So yeah, I would say a sequel to this one would be nice. Blah blah blah. Give me a moment. Which book do you wish didn't have a sequel? Yeah, this one honestly is a bit more easier. Here I'm gonna go with Text by Julia Tufts. So, and yeah, this book does have a sequel. It's a duology actually right now. I don't think there's gonna be more, but yeah, I loved this book. I also kind of felt like it was like cool as a standalone because at first I just didn't really know it was having a sequel because sometimes books at the end it says like wait for the second book. Here it didn't, and then after a while I heard like oh a second book's coming. Cool. I read it. Was so disappointed. It was just miles away from the quality of this book. And I just kind of, yeah, I just felt like, why do you exist? So, yeah, the second book in the series, I just pretended this doesn't exist. I gave it away to charity. And in my head, this is standalone. This is a standalone. No one say anything else. This It's a sound long. Okay. Okay. Then we have the next question. How long does it take you to read a book? Of course, depends on the book. But yeah, I am a fast reader. Although, to be honest, I do quite a lot, often like skim some skim some words here and there. So like if I don't like a paragraph, I might just skip to the next paragraph. Uh, but yeah, uh, but yeah, if a book is like 350 pages, I might finish it in like 3 hours. I would say more or less. Like I have actually checked once, and I think I might like often read 100 pages in 1 hour. Of course, depends on how the book is written and whatnot. But like I love the books that I write books that I read are like kind of like this, where it's kind of space here and it doesn't stop all the way up there. It's like this up here, and then yeah, you have like more space. It's not like thin writing and stuff. So yeah, so a 350 pages book could be 3 hours. A 500 pages book could be maybe 2 days. So yeah, depends on how the big book is, but around there. Blah 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 blah. What movie has done book justice? This is a bit tricky, I would say again, like because I feel like so many of the book adaptations they're either quite awful or they're good as movie but not as an adaptation. But and also like yeah. Uh and like I was never really try hard, so I can't really say Twilight because I don't know also I don't really know how how big they love the movies. But yeah, I never really try hard. Um I was never really a Melto Hunger Games girly. Like I read those but I wasn't really a big Hunger Games girly. You know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna say P.S. I Love You by Cecilia Ahern. I love that book as a 13-year-old when I read it. I read it, and the movie came out like one book year after. I mean, it did some changes, yeah, but I would say like a lot of it stayed true to the book, and yeah, I did quite enjoy that movie. Haven't watched it in a while, but yeah, I did quite enjoy that one. So I feel that kind of yeah, I felt that stayed true-ish to the book in some ways. I suppose yeah, the main character is from America instead of Irish in the movie, but like this point is like to move on and to like grieve and stuff, and that's still there. It's not like in the movie the man is divorced, he's still dead, but yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Do you read newspapers? This kind of feels like a weird question to have on a book tag, but yeah. I read newspapers online. I read them sometimes in like paper form, like when I'm at my parents' house, I might read some newspapers. But it's not really something I do daily. But I read it now and then. Next question. Do you read magazines? Again, it's something I do now and then. Like there's this magazine that they have at the cinema where like it's like reviews about news, movies and stuff, and that I might pick up that one because it's free, so it's like oh cool free. I'll have to have a look in this one. But it's not like I used to read more before, but not that much now. No, so a bit like now and then. Next question: you read while in bed? Yes, obviously. Well, maybe not obviously, but obviously for me, like I might often do the thing where I go to bed at 10 o'clock in the evening and then I go to sleep at like 1 o'clock in the night because a great book. Or I might like if I wake up at 8, I might lie in bed and read until like 11, 12 in the afternoon because great book. So yeah, I love to just be in bed reading. Read while on the toilet. People do this. I suppose I know that people do sometimes have their phone on the toilet. I feel like this is a very common thing to do. I'm like, why do people do this? I don't do it, but people seem to do it. But yeah, I don't read while on toilet. No, I don't. When I'm on toilet, I'm usually just on toilet. I don't really do much else than really and do that. Do you read while in the car? I listen to audiobooks in the car. Sometimes I read in the car. Now this might be like, what have you read not audiobook because you're supposed to drive? I don't drive myself, so I'm always a passenger. But I suppose it depends on where we're going because sometimes the road is a bit weird, and then if I read, I'll get nauseous. So depends, but sometimes yes. You read while in the bath. Well, I haven't really have my own bath. I suppose I'm kind of assuming this is a bathtub, not just bath, because well, I suppose maybe English bathroom is the room and bath is a bathtub. Is bathtub more British than American? I don't know, but yeah, I'm thinking that's probably what you mean because why else would you ask that as well as read on toilet? Yeah. Anyway, I don't really have a bathtub in my current residence. That sounds a bit posh, but yeah, where I live right now. My parents don't either. My sister has, but I haven't really used that one ever. I kind of want to try it sometime. My aunt has a bathtub that I used 1 year ago, and I did enjoy that. I did listen to an audiobook while there. But yeah, because I'm not like I don't have a bathtub that I use regularly, then no, not really. But yeah, if I had a bathtub or if I'm if I'm someplace where this is bathtub, yeah, I might listen to audiobook. If I'll I suppose maybe you'll ask me like, will you pick up a pocketbook in the bathtub? No, because then you're just kind of scared of getting it wet and stuff. So no, I wouldn't do that. Are you a fast reader? Again, as mentioned this, I've read 100 pages in uh, one in 1 hour. So yeah, I would say quite fast. And the next question is, are you a slow reader? Why would I ask both questions? I mean, it's either yes to the one question, and then would mean that you are not the other, because you can't be both a fast and slow reader. I'm just gonna move on. What is your favorite place to read? As I said, I quite enjoy being in bed reading, but also depending on what I do. Like sometimes, like if it's the day, I'm not gonna spend all day in bed reading, but sometimes I lay on my couch reading. So I wouldn't really say like I have one specific place I have to read there. Like honestly, to me, like places that are comfortable, so a good chair that's over there, or the couch, or my bed, wherever really. I'm not that fussy, really. But yeah, I do quite enjoy my bed, but also other places. And then also give me a little moment. Right. So this question here is it hard for you to concentrate while you read? I would say it depends a bit. Like for example, like where I live right now, it's in the center. Well, yeah, it's in the center of town. Again, it's the center of town. It's not a huge city, but it's well, town. Again, it's the difference between town and city. I suppose. Yeah, okay, it's a city. It has like city status. Like there's noises of I was about to say cows. No, noises of the cars outside. There's a train going by close to me. So there's all these noises of the city that is around. So I suppose some noises you kind of have to get used to. It kind of just comes with territory. And yeah, like also like if I'm someplace and I have done this, yeah, I have done this. If I'm like at my parents' house or some place where people are and people are talking, and I'm like, yeah, this conversation is boring. I might just sit in the corner and read. So they might be over here talking about politics or the weather or whatnot, and I'll be over here reading. So they might be talking, but I can will be capable of reading while they're over there talking. So I don't really need silence to read. But yeah, I suppose sometimes if there's like a lot of sounds around me, like if I'm sitting here and someone's here talking to their friend loudly, yeah, of course that will be difficult. But yeah, I can also read if it's completely silent. I can also read in that. I'm flexible really. Uh, Next question: do you need a room to be silent? No, I don't. Sometimes I read in silence, sometimes I don't. Uh, who gave you love for reading? Now this, I feel like it's a bit interesting question, really, because yeah, as love, I suppose nowadays it's not that common. But yeah, when I was young, in my days, in the olden days of times yore. But yeah, when I was young, or a child, my mom read aloud to me, uh, and she read aloud to me until I was like 9, yeah, around then. So that's very nice. Uh, I'm not sure if she read aloud to my siblings. Probably she did. My sisters, but probably she did. But for some reason, I like have more or less always like been this huge reader. I've always like loved going to the library. Always read a lot. Well, my sisters never were that big of readers, and we grew up in the same house, so it's kind of weird. And it's not even like my mom is that huge of a reader. I mean, yeah, she's been a part of book clubs, but like I read much more than she does. But I suppose in a way, my mom, and then maybe in another way, just the great books out there in the world. I mean, because yeah, would say it's like me and my mom. Yeah, I'm gonna say that. That's kind of interesting answer, but yeah. Feel like some people have like a mom or like a family member who's like a huge reader. And yeah, I have an aunt who's also a reader. I also feel like I'm kind of honestly I'm thinking like I'm the biggest reader in my family. So like I must get others to read. But who made me a reader? Me? Myself? I don't know. Yeah. Blah 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 blah. What book is next on your list to read? Yeah, interesting question. Um, depending on yeah, how do you define to read? I did just start Ten Tomatoes That Changed the World by William Alexander. Yeah, I'm in my era of reading quirky niche books like this. So yeah, I did just start this today. If you're talking about like what book do you plan to read soon that you have not started, then I would say, give me a moment. Then I would say, yeah, which one is the one I'm gonna pick up next? That's a good question to answer, to ask. Blah, 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 I mean, there's so many. But yeah, I'm just gonna go with this one, A Dragon Blood Ring by Amparo Ortiz. I had this now for 2 months. But yeah, it's the last in this duology, which is all about dragons competing against each other and also kind of taking down a big bad government. So it's kind of dystopian, but kind of not. And yeah, I love the first book, so planning to pick on this one up soon. Then also, oh, sorry, I just hit my camera. Oh, yes. Then we have next question. When did you start to read chapter books? I feel like chapter books is kind of like a very American term. I don't really feel like we talk about that in Norway. But I feel like it was when I came back, humble brag, but yeah, when I came back from Australia, because I lived in Australia when I was 8 for 1 year. That's also how I managed to be this great at English. Not great English, but yeah, I have a quite good grasp of the language based on that year. But yeah, I mean that year my mom read aloud to me, and it was also the first time like I learned English and stuff. But I think when I got home after Australia, I read much more myself, and my mom read less aloud to me. And I feel like I did read chapter books. It wasn't just yeah, it wasn't just like short picture books. It was yeah, chapter books. So maybe I was yeah 9 then. Probably was before. I mean chapter books. These categories that are so specified. I don't know around then. Then we have the next question. What is your favorite children's book author? Again, there's so many good children's books authors to choose here. That is mean. How do you choose this? How do you answer this question to be correct? I'm gonna go with Robin Stevens. So this is more shorter reads, but yeah, Robin Stevens has two middle grade series, and they're just both so amazing. They're historical mystery middle grade series. You need to check it out. And yeah, I would say she's a big favorite author of mine. And yeah, she writes middle grade, which middle grade is children's. I would say, well, maybe children's is from 0 to 8. Isn't children's also middle grade books? I don't know. Yeah, let you decide that. Where am I now? Which author would you most like to interview? Interesting question. Interesting question. I don't know. I mean, there's so many interesting. I mean, I suppose maybe not Gail Carrier because I feel like she talks a lot about what her stuff is. So like, I feel like what would I ask her because she already says so much. So like, maybe Derek Landy because I feel like he has like, I suppose not like other authors on engineering and stuff, but yeah, I feel like he has lots of interesting thoughts and like he must be a mad brain and yeah, I'm going to say Derek Landy, which I actually haven't mentioned yet in this tag. Derek Landy writes amazing books. Which author do you think you would be friends with? Again, it's difficult to choose. I mean, there's so many nice. Yes, I would cut off because my computer is old. That's also my camera. So yeah, here again. Now, where was I? Blah 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 blah. Yeah, which author do you think you're friends with? Did I answer this? I don't think I did. I'm gonna say, you know what? I think I would be friends with Holly Smale. I think, yeah, she has it's some interest to me, and she's like a nice person, and yeah, Holly Smale, I want to say. Now, the next question. Blah 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 blah. We're nearing the last one here. Last few. What book have you reread the most? Now this, I think I know. And give me a little moment, and I can fetch it for you. The Mediator series by Meg Cabot. I've like at one time I read it like once a year, and it's also one of those books I read so much that I now know the first line of the first book by heart. But they didn't tell me. Um, okay, now I'm blacking out. But yeah, I think yeah, they didn't tell me there'd be palm trees. Or sorry, now I just said I knew it by heart and I'm not. Yeah, sorry. They told me there'd be palm trees. Yeah, that's what the line is. I didn't believe them when they told me there were palm trees, and then it goes on. But yeah, this book is it's my teen life, also my life still, but in a different way. But yeah, it's so great. Also, there's been mumblings about it getting an adaptation, so yay! Hopefully, something we hear soon. Then we have. Give me a little moment. Blah 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 blah. Which books do you consider classics? Now, this one says classics in this word, which again, what's that called in English? I'm not quite sure. Suppose classics in like maybe modern classics, books you consider classics for a while. I'm gonna say which books do I consider classics? There's so many I could answer here. So many to choose from. I don't know what to answer here, really. There's so many to choose from. What do you say to this question? I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. I don't know. No, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Amari series by B.B. Olsen. This definitely a modern classic. So yeah, gonna say this one. Then we have, which books do you think should be taught in every school? Interesting question. Uh, you know what? Yeah, I think the Amari books I think should be taught in every school because yeah, there's just so much to it. I think there's a lot you can talk about, a lot you could give kids a love for reading from this book. There's so much you can do with this book. But yeah, here Peripheral says which books, as in several books. So yeah, here I can go a bit wild. Then I'm also gonna say, I think I have a plan. So let me just think a little bit. Let me just think a little bit. I want to also say, yes, I want that one. I want to say, I want to say, which are the books that I want people to, yeah, those ones. Yeah. I suppose also, like, how do you define teach in schools? So you mean like primary or I suppose just in general? Yeah, I'm not using primary schools here, so yeah. So yeah, this middle grade book, these other YA books, we have Starry Nights by Daisy Whitney. It's about the importance of art. It's about being yourself. It's about magic. It's about so many things. Yeah, also quite underrated book. So yeah. Margaret Mertz takes it down, which is about slut shaming in the that's about slut shaming in the modern day and internet shaming. And yeah, this needs to be in everyone's hands. And Love is for Losers, which is just so damn funny. It will just make everyone love reading. So for that reason alone, it should be in every curriculum, in my head at least. So yeah, I'm gonna say those. And then the next question, I believe, yeah, which books should be banned from all schools? Honestly, no. I don't really think banning is not cool. No, that's just such an American thing. Like, if you don't like it, ban it. No, I mean, if a book you don't like, or either it's a book about something you don't like, or you feel like it's badly written, don't ban it. Just don't read it yourself. Like, there are some books I don't like, but chances are those books will be someone's favorite books. So saying that a book should be banned in all schools, I'm like, no, no. Like even controversial books like Mein Kampf by Hitler. I mean, that's a controversial book. But like, and I'm not saying it should be teach, but I'm saying more like don't ban it. Just like even books that are controversial, like Jordan Peterson books, you could read them and then talk about how awful or how damaging they are, but to like ban books in general, no, 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 not here for it. I'm not here for it. No, 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 no. Yeah, that is the last question. So yeah, this became quite a long video, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon. Yeah, it's a Tag Tuesday. You know what? I'm gonna tag Zoe's all about the books. I just recently found her, and she has a lot of similar tastes as me, and I just love her jam, her vibe. I'm gonna tag Annalisa Eli, as always. I'm gonna tag Leandra from Leandra the TBR Zero. I'm not sure if Judge love tags. I'm not really sure if so does love tags, but yeah, if you feel like this might be a fun video to do, I mean it's not that difficult. It's just kind of talking about books and would say it's one of the more funner tags really because you talk about reading and reading life and stuff, and yeah, I quite like it. So yeah, and suppose also as always, if you see this just randomly and you want to do it, tag you're it. Consider yourself tagged. And yeah, I'll see you soon.